Hi there and welcome to another workout for you to row along to. Today's session is kind of like a coda, an end resolve to the 1K plan. Now, obviously the 1K plan, the ultimate goal is to have your 1K go faster. So hopefully that's what you did, is that you did a 1,000 meter time trial and that's how you worked out whether the plan worked. However, it's quite hard to do that as a row along. So for me anyway, I was really intrigued to find out how I would have got on through this entire plan, comparing week 1 session 1 to how I get on at the end. So that's what I'm going to do today. So week 1 session 1 was 8 1-minute intervals with 1 minute rest in between, and your pace for these is going to be what your 1K pace is, okay? Now, if you remember, the session we did before the rest day was 1K pace a little bit faster, and we had 3 minutes rest in between. So that's not really the point today. The point isn't to go as fast as you possibly can, like fly and die and exhaust yourself. You still have to give yourself enough in your system to be able to get through all 8 intervals, which is why I'm saying 1K pace. Now, hopefully, what's happened is through the course of this plan, you have rediscovered and developed that 1K pace, so that your week 1 session 1 and this session are going to be so different, okay? So what I'm hoping for is you're going to be around about 3 seconds faster, okay? Or even more. For me anyway, I think I average around about 142.5, so I'm going to be looking to row this at around about 139-ish for most of it, in which case I'll be over the moon, wahey, and maybe I can try and do the last one faster, who knows? Okay, so that's the point of today's workout, is just to try and see if you're doing it the same way I am, what week 1 session 1 was like compared to today's row. Okay, now because this is a top end row, we're going to do a 10-minute warm up to make sure that we are ready to hit the ground running. And before we do that, we have to set up our machine. So on a concept 2, that means going to drag factor first, set that to where you want it to be. Now I know that my lever between right in the middle of 6 is exactly where I need it to be, but drag factor is the best way to set this. So if you don't know about drag factor, please check the video I have on this channel. If you know about drag factor but don't know really where to set it for around about 130. If you know absolutely nothing, set your lever between 4 and 5, okay? Because too low isn't the problem, too high is the problem, okay? Next up, actually, if you're on a non-concept 2, then please just set the weight or the resistance of the machine so you get a nice feel from the stroke, but you don't have to heave against it to get it moving. Next up, if you can, please set your monitor to eye height so you don't have to look up and you don't have to look down. And finally, set your foot straps so that as you come forwards to the front of the machine, your shins get into a vertical position, okay? Holly's obviously been on the rowing machine because the straps are really tight. But yeah, so come forwards, shins vertical, and that's where you want your foot straps to be. So if you're set too high, it might be a little bit difficult to get there. Set too low, you might go scooting straight past, causing power leaks and possible lower back overextension. Right. So we're going to start this off at 20 strokes a minute for this warm-up, and I just want you to think about enough of a push as though you were standing up, okay? Because all you're going to think for the first minute is the power connection between your feet and your hands, okay? So trust me, little power, just enough to get moving. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. So really, it's just enough power to be able to row at 20 strokes per minute without having to do anything too weird with your technique. So you want arms straight, forward tilt, push with the legs, but not too hard, okay? And this way, you can then think about the timing between your foot press into the machine and your handle connecting to the machine. And what I mean is that point when you feel the handle pick up the tension, the strain, the whatever you want to call it, of your machine. You want that push to happen at exactly the same time, okay? Try and get a feel for the push and that snap. And once you do, you start to increase that push from your legs a little bit. Now, if you have a 2K training pace, I want you to take it up to round about, well, between 2K18 and 2K plus 20. Just enough to get a little bit of a increased push from your legs. Heart rate starts to climb. Breathing rate starts to climb, but you don't feel like you're putting in loads of effort. You basically feel like you could do this all day long. And importantly, you're able to hold a conversation with somebody. That's a really good guide for this 2K plus 18 kind of pace. But in 3 seconds time, I want you to increase to 22 strokes a minute and 2 seconds faster. So here we go. So just push a little harder with the legs. That should create a faster drive speed. And that's being, you want to have a smooth, fluid sequence to your rowing. If you increase your drive speed, then your recovery should increase slightly too. And that's how you get your stroke rate up. And then because you're pushing a little harder with the legs and taking 2 strokes a minute more, that results in the 2 second increase. But 3 strokes time, we'll slow it back down to 20 strokes a minute. Okay, so ready, just down, just ease off those 2 seconds again, down to 20 strokes a minute. And this is your recovery pace through this warm-up. Because what we're going to do is we're going to gradually go faster every minute for 30 seconds, followed by this recovery pace at 20 strokes a minute. So we'll end up by the end going nice and fast, and your body should be nice and warm, ready for today's main session. Okay, 3 more strokes, then we're going to go up to 24 strokes a minute. Here we go. After this one, here we go. So 24 strokes a minute, and another 3 seconds faster than you were before. So if you have a 2K training pace, that means you'll be rowing this one at round about 2K plus 12. 2 more. 1 more. And down to that 20 strokes a minute pace again, your recovery pace. See how it works? And then we'll go up to 26 next. And another 3 seconds faster. So 2 more. 1 more. So here we go. Push even harder with the legs. Speed up that drive speed. Complement it with a faster recovery, and you should get that stroke rate up. Remember, it's nice and smooth. You're not jerking to the stroke. Last one. Now back down to 20 again. So you should just feel your heart rate increasing, the intensity increase through these 30-second bursts. But these 30-second recoveries just let you calm down again, so it's not too exhausting. Okay, 1 more. Up to 28 this time. Whew. And round about 2K plus 5. If you can. And we're going to do 2 sets of these 28s. 1 more. Slow it down. So I'm just going to repeat the 28 because it's quite a good stroke rate for It's like the tipping point towards a high stroke rate. 28 is the last kind of middle ground stroke rate for me. And then we'll go up to 30 and 32 to finish. So, one more stroke. Let's take it up to 28 again. Run about 2K plus 5. And hopefully, what's naturally happening, is as you increase your stroke rate, your pace is just going up kind of in tandem with it. You're not needing to think too much about pace. One more. There we go. Back to 20s again. So we're going to go up to 30 next and run about 2K plus 2 pace. So close to 2K effort. 2 more, or just whatever. 1 more, your natural pace is at 30, come on. So 1 stroke every 2 seconds, and just see what happens when you row at this stroke rate with a good technique. Arms straight, forwards tilt, only pulling at the back of the stroke. 3, 2, 1. Back to 20s. We've got 1 more to come. So when we take it up to 32 and 2K pace or a little faster. Now I know your stroke rate for 2K might be slower or faster than this, but still try and get there. 1 more. Here we go. So push with the feet and then think about a smooth but fast return of the handle. You're not jerking it away, just let it release. It's all about being fluid. Okay, 3, 2, 1. And let's paddle home for the next 30 seconds. So if you need more of a warm-up in order to be able to be up at, there we go, racing speed, then please continue, even if you have to pause the video and then restart once you are warm. Please do. Last one for me though, because it's important that you're properly warm from a performance and from an injury prevention point of view. However, if you're going to continue, then please just have a quick drink, move up and down the rail, and I'll explain one more time what we're doing today. Okay then, I'll quickly go over what we're doing today, but this time we'll just let that ATP in your muscles recharge ready for today's main session, which is 8 1-minute intervals with 1 minute rest in between. And you're going to do this at what is your current 1K stroke rate and 1K pace. Now by current, I mean what you have developed over the course of this 1K plan, not what you were rowing all the way back in week 1, session 1. Hopefully you have a better idea of what your 1K pace would be after going through all of this plan. Now, like I said, I started week 1, session 1, quite disappointingly. I was quite surprised by how slow, for me anyway, how slow I was rowing, where I don't think I broke 140 the whole time, and I was even down at like 142.5 by the time I got towards the finish of it, with the last interval being like a flying die, let's just try and get everything, which meant that my average for the entire row was 141.7. So today, as long as I get faster average across the entire 8 intervals than 141.7, I will be over the moon because the plan will have worked. I'll have got faster, whether that's physically, whether that's just fitness strength or mental strength, who knows? But that's what I'm hoping for, okay? I haven't done it, so it's not like I've done this in testing, so who knows how this is gonna end up. But I'm gonna have a quick drink. And then I'm going to get in to the first one. And I'm going to talk as much as I think I did in the first time round, okay? So I can try and make it as even as possible. But we're doing 1 minute at your, whatever you think your current 1K pace will be, okay? Here we go then. In 3, 2, 1, go. Now stroke rates, I'm looking to get round about 32, 34. I don't want to overspin by going too high a stroke rate on this first interval. But make sure, get that power from your legs. Push the machine away from you. Hold your arms straight and a forwards tilt. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. One 39.4. So a good start. I'm happy so far. Heart rate was up in the low 150s, so certainly working harder. Have a drink. Now remember, if you want to do light rowing with 15 seconds to go, to protect your back from that first heavy stroke, then start now. Take some good breaths. Okay, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Don't forget to breathe. What you want is to find a pattern where you are comfortable and it works kind of in sequence with your stroke. Whether that's 1 stroke per breath or 2 breaths per stroke. I think I slowed down a bit on this one. Okay, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. I looked up and saw 140.7 as my average. I'd obviously started quite slow, so managed to get to 140 average. I'd rather still see 139 something, but hey, 30 seconds to go, have a drink. $20 seconds. Remember to take good breaths in recovery. 15 seconds. Try not to hyperventilate. 10 seconds. Let that oxygen come in and the CO2 go out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. And a word about timing. Do remember that any time you pause is wasted time. Come into the front, instantly turn it around, and at the back, pull the handle in, but then Release it nice and smoothly over your knees before your knees bend. 4, 3, 2, 1. 139. Heart rate was up at 158. My chest strap seems to be responding a bit better today. Remember, if you want to just rock up and down the rail like I do, save your energy for the main row, but start your light rowing now if you want to have a moving flywheel to protect your back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Interval 4. Remember, as tempting as it may be to pull early, thinking that that will get you more power, try to avoid that temptation. Arms nice and straight as you push your feet into the machine. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Certainly felt a bit of a fade at the end there. Going to concentrate on breathing for a second if you don't mind. Have a drink. Now this is where, if you're anything like me, the push starts, where you have to push to maintain your pace. 15 seconds to go. 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. For that minute recovery should be enough for you to at least hit the first 30 to 40 seconds of each interval at the right pace. Then it's down to staying focused and strong, pushing the power in, knowing you only have 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Whew. And that focus can really help, because that was the fastest one so far. Yeah, 38.7. Only 3 to go. Craig Conti just commented on a post. Oh, 20 seconds. 15. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Get stroke rate and power locked in as quick as you can. Fingers should be hooked over the handle. Thumbs underneath. Let the power go in unhindered. Okay, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Oh. That was 1.9. Oh. So 38.1 for that one. And at this stage, the last time round, have a drink. One 42s. So I'm 4 seconds faster. 15 to go. If you want to do that light rowing. Whew. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on. Number 7. Second last. Don't let this one spoil your run. Second last. Can sometimes feel tougher, but don't give in to it. Halfway there. Keep pushing with your legs. Timing. Push as you connect. 10 seconds. 3 more. Take a moment to breathe before the last one. Have a drink. You know what I'm going to say? Let's go fast. 30 seconds at your usual pace, then power for 15, and then stroke rate for 15. I'll keep you right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on. Hit a good pace for the first 30 seconds. 15 gone. Okay, add some power. Same stroke rate. Just push harder. Now, increase rate as well. Handle, away. Push. Oh. So, I'll try and talk. My average for the whole row was 1:38.6, which is 3 seconds or 3.1 faster than week 1, session 1. So I am over the moon, especially as the last interval I got down to 1:28 again. That seems to be my current terminal velocity for within this kind of a workout. Possibly if I did a standing start 100 meter time trial, I'd go a little bit faster than that, but I don't mind. I'm going to happily take 1:28 is my fastest. Oh, so you can tell I'm a bit, I'm not actually loaded up the 2-minute cooldown. Oh, sorry, 3-minute cooldown, because we'll do what we normally do for the end of these intense rows, where we do the first minute light rowing, then single leg, then arms and body only and legs only. But you can do the whole 3 minutes straight through if you wish. But here we go. Same pace that we started off, or the kind of recovery pace of the warm-up, okay? In 3, 2, 1, go. So a nice gentle pace. You're just pushing in enough power to be activating your muscles, okay? So you just want to activate your legs on the push. You want to connect to straight arms and a forwards tilt. And then you want to pull at the back of the stroke. And that way your body, your muscles are having a chance to slowly cool down instead of just go from full on to nothing. Heart rate should be kind of hitting around about 50% max maybe, but certainly not going up. Okay, one more here, and let's put one foot on the ground. Continue rowing with just one leg strapped in. Heart rate values vary from person to person, so don't worry if you are higher than 50% of your max heart rate. All I'm saying is that you shouldn't really be up at 70%. And it shouldn't be climbing. That's the most important part. During a cool down, it should not be climbing. Take the other foot out, put it on the ground, put the other one back in, continue rowing. This just helps flexibility of your hips, but also your back. Helps you with that tilt in towards the front of the machine. Helps you think about full leg drive as well. Okay, 2 more. 1 more, then let's put both feet back in. You don't have to tighten the straps yet. Legs straight, just roll with your back and your arms. So swing with your back, pull in with your arms, then out with your arms, and then tilt forwards over your hips with your back. With your hips tilted forwards. It's important that your hips have rolled, rotated, tilted, whatever you want to say, forwards. 1 more. And let's roll to the front, tighten your straps on the way, arms straight, forward tilt, and press out lightly from the front. Because all I want you to do is concentrate on the timing, doing your foot press and your hands, but also holding this arm straight and forwards tilt as you do so. And if you push too hard, then your body tends to recoil as a result of pushing too hard. And I just want you to get used to being in this position. Let's do one more. Ooh. There we go. So let's get into a stretching session next. If you don't have time to stretch, that's fine, but just please at one point try and stretch your quads and your hamstrings, but not in the shower, because I don't want you to slip, fall, okay, because that's how you hurt yourself. Never stretch in the shower, but yeah, do stretch them. Or Stretchy John has just appeared on screen. He'll take you through some stretches, or I will take you through some stretches on the machine if you don't have space. So put your hands in the legs in the straps, hands in the air, fold forwards. So I meant to say loosen those straps. So if you have loose straps, hopefully you can have that kind of almost a right angle or close to a right angle, doesn't really matter how close it is, between your feet and your shins. And that then helps as you fold forwards. You should get that nice stretch through your hamstrings. If you don't have a stretch in your hamstrings, chances are there's one of your angles is wrong, so you'll have to spend a little bit of time working out what you've done. Could be that fold forwards, you slumped. Could be you've got bent knees, who knows. Next, glutes, put one leg up on the rail. Oh, I've done the other way around. One leg up on the rail, put the other knee, or the foot over into the crook of your knee. Bring this knee across your body, hold it in place, hold on to the back of the machine, and then rotate down into that glute. And as you pull this leg across your body, with that rotation, you should feel you get a nice stretch into that glute. Now, it must be said, there's a good chance that by the time we are done with this stretching today, that you're going to be like, I feel as though I've fully recovered. I want to do more, which is fine. But what I'd say is, let's swap legs. Whatever you do, whether it's going on the bike, whether it's continuing to row, whether it's a treadmill or whatever, keep it at a low. My speech is terrible today. Keep it at a low intensity. Okay. Just let yourself recover after today's workout. I mean, you can go hard if you want, to be honest. Right. Let's do quads. Flick this foot up against, so your heel is against your backside, and then pull it in, keeping a straight line between your shoulders, your hips, and your knee. Balances off today. Yeah, I mean, you can go intense if you want. That was an intense workout anyway, so that's why I'm saying follow up with like a long 20-minute row, or maybe 20 minutes on the bike, or 3K on the treadmill or something. But you know what, if you want to continue the fast stuff just to kind of celebrate, then as long as you let your body, whoa, is he gonna fall? Just changing legs. As long as you let your body recover, give yourself either a rest day tomorrow again, or a low intensity workout, because there's a chance if you took a rest day yesterday, you're gonna be like, I don't want to do another rest day. So maybe that's what I'm trying to say then, is make sure that tomorrow is a low intensity workout. Do what you want today, but tomorrow should be low intensity. Just to let your body recover from an intense row and whatever you do today. So hip flexors next. I'm going to do the one with one knee on the ground, then the other foot's in front, knee over the ankle, and then I'm going to push this hip forwards. That knee then goes past the ankle, and as long as I have a good posture, God, what's wrong with my balance today? As long as I have a good posture, I get really nice stretch up here through my hips, at my hip flexor, which again, for today's kind of row, because it was the high rate and you're launching yourself forwards, you can kind of compress your hip flexors quite a lot, to be honest, especially when you come to the back of the stroke as well, and you use those hip flexors as part of your recovery. I just swapped legs, sorry. Yeah, you kind of, it's not that you use the hip flexors, but they certainly come into play at the back of the stroke at that point when you go from the backwards tilt and then kind of go forwards again. As much as you can try and relax your legs and make it about the core, and that tilt over your back and like the momentum of your hands coming away, your hip flexors do still come into play. So it's a good idea to stretch them. And then if you also find you have a tightness anyway, but remember, Jeff Cavalier Athlete X has a great video to tell if you find out if you do actually have tight hip flexors or not. Let's do forearms next, in fact. So hands together, push them down in front of you, bring them down in front of, like, kind of in front of your sternum, but basically so that your fingers are now at a right angle to your forearms. This will then give you a nice wee stretch on the underside of your forearms. Woo. And fingers possibly too, wrists possibly too. Which, again, today, because of it being about trying to squeeze out as much power as possible, there's a good chance that you were kind of pulling that little bit harder at the back of the stroke, and maybe your forearms have taken a little bit of a beating. You never know. Shoulders, so hand across your body. So it's in a straight line. Hold it in place with your other arm, and then just have a little light pull against it, and you should feel that your shoulder just stretches that little bit. And again, if you are rowing with a okay technique, then you should be hanging off your shoulders. So as you come into the front, you kind of open out your shoulders so the power just goes straight through them in a straight line. So what I was going to say about you want to keep your arms straight so that they're not fighting against the power. Whereas if you grab and hunch with your shoulders, that's when shoulder soreness can come from, or where rather than when. So if you do end up with really sore shoulders after a row, chances are you're either grabbing early or you have really shrugged shoulders as you drive. Could be a couple of things, but your shoulders really shouldn't take that much of a beating. If you're new to rowing, possibly, it's the same with your lats, your lat muscles. If you're new to rowing and you're doing it with a good technique, you can often find, ooh, I can feel it in my lats. But the more time you spend on it, the more your lats are like, we've got this, we're never gonna get sore again. Biceps next, put your hands behind you. So you're flying, rotate your thumbs outwards. I say never get sore again for your lats, but what's interesting is if you take, like when I had to take a good few weeks off at the beginning of the year due to COVID, the first time, so I still spent like 3-4 weeks just easing myself back into rowing, but the very first time I kind of put in some proper power, the next day it felt as though I had like wings, as though my back was like suddenly, because it's the first time those muscles had been properly used powerfully again, and they were like, what's going on here? So yeah, I was like, oh crikey. So it just shows how much of a back workout you get when you row. Triceps to finish with, so one hand in the air, put it down onto your spine so your elbow's pointing up to the sky, then use your other hand to just help that elbow go so that it's properly going straight up. And that should give you a nice little stretch into your triceps. Your hand should go slightly further down your spine as well. And of course, for the most flexible people, you should, if you have the good flexibility anyway, be able to kind of interlock your fingers. So rather than pushing your elbow back with the other arm, you can kind of come up and meet them and kind of like help pull your arm back that way. I'm sure my flexibility, I mean, that felt like I'd gone a little bit further up from a flexibility point that time. But I'm still not quite there. I'm still very tight in the old shoulders. Right, that's us done with our stretching. So I hope that this worked out for you the way it did for me. This is one of those rare rows where I spent the whole thing talking about my metrics, where I was constantly saying how fast I was going. I don't tend to really make this about me, although sometimes although on the screen you can see my stuff, it's all there just for reference, just for you to see, if nothing else, that to keep me honest. So once it's up there, I can't cheat. Apparently it's time for me to drink water. Yeah, so I can't kind of go, oh, honest, I'm going at the right pace, because the metrics up there, that's the pace I'm going at. But most of the rows I don't really talk about in terms of, hey, look what I'm able to do here, because you don't care about that. You only care about what you're able to do. But today, the reason I brought it up was because I set myself that challenge to try and row faster than I had when I started the plan. And so I felt it was important to let you know that I was keeping on top of it, and that at the point in week 1, session 1, where I was starting to struggle and was really slowing down, going down to that 142, 142.5 pace, because I was really struggling in that session. At the same point in today's one, I was going faster. So whereas I started off this one at 139 pace, by the time I got to those intervals I was previously struggling with, I was then up to like 138.3. I was actually rowing faster at the same point I was slowing down before. And so part of me wonders whether, was I maybe possibly going too slow at the start of that? Should I have been aiming for 138.5? Who knows? But the point is, no matter what, no matter how you read it, no matter how you shave off an extra couple of tenths of a second in terms of what I could have managed on this one, as an average pace, I was 3 seconds faster than I did it the last time round. Towards the end, I mean, what I say, I was 136 for that very last interval. That I did the last one, it was like 139.5, I think, the first time round. But the one before, I was 6 seconds average faster than I was the last time round. So it just shows that, like I said, whether it's physically that I've just got more powerful from the plan over the past 4.5 weeks, or 5 weeks if you include the kind of taper week. Whether it's that my fitness has improved, or whether it's just that it's unlocked my brain to say it's okay, you've got this, who knows? But the fact is, the plan works and I went faster. So I hope, whether you did the 1K test at the end, or whether you did that at the end, I hope that it's proved to you that the plan works. So even if you use that as a kind of a proof thing to dip your toe in the water to just say, I wonder if I'm faster or not, hopefully that's proved to you that yes, you are. And so the next thing you do is a 1,000 meter time trial, okay? That's hopefully gonna set you up confidence-wise so you can go, wow. So, I'd like to give it a hashtag as we get into the end of my videos, and I'm just going to be very self-involved here and just say the plan works. So just use a hashtag, the plan works, because it does, okay? It's made me faster, it's made me more confident to be able to row the fast stuff I need to row fast, and to go, you know what, I've got this, I know how it feels, I have embraced the discomfort, I know what it feels like, I know what I can push through, I know when I need to back off, because I've just trained myself in all aspects of it over the past 4.5, almost 5 weeks. So yeah, ta-da, right? So that's hopefully what you got out of it too. So please do leave me some kind of a comment and let me know how you got on. Let me know what you did, whether you're faster, how you found the plan. And if you want, let me know what you want me to do next. I've got ideas what I want to do next, but actually for the time being, I'm thinking I'll just make a bunch of standalones again and just kind of see what happens. I need to really throw myself into the high rocks training, to be honest. So I'll be doing that alongside making these, continue to make videos for you guys. So thank you so much for being part of the 1K plan. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. And like I say, make sure and let me know how you got on. I will see you in one of my many other videos at one point, whether I have a beard, whether I have short hair or long hair, whether I have a slightly bigger stomach, whether I have a slightly smaller stomach, whether I'm whatever color t-shirt I'm wearing, who knows. I will see you in that video. Until then, please take care of yourselves. Be well. Bye-bye.